Welcome back, everyone. You got Nate from Inbox Attack and Sujan Patel here from Mailshake. We're going to talk about follow-up emails today, and this is a multi-part video series. Hopefully, this is not the first video you're watching, but if it is, check out our other videos all around optimizing emails, sending good emails to get better results from your outbound sales or cold email efforts. Nate, take it away.
All right, follow-ups. Ugh. So one of the things right off the bat with follow-ups is the instinct and the common knowledge is to set up a long drip campaign that your prospect is going to get 16 emails from you in a sequence, and it's timed out just perfectly, and then there's a formula for it. I strongly disagree with that. And I've got the tests and the stats to prove it. Especially if you're moving into a new market with cold email campaigns, it is typically new. That's why it's a cold email campaign. So if you're sending out emails to strangers or people that have likely forgotten about you, do your follow-ups manually. Now, there's ways to make it easier, but do it manually first. And we'll, in another video, we'll talk about A/B testing and how to actually measure how those follow-ups do, see which ones are most effective, but do it manually first. I cannot stress it enough. It doesn't mean you have to take months on it, but do a couple campaigns manually and see how it goes. Do small batches. So when you get to the point when you have it figured out, then you can automate it and start building out the sequences. When you're doing something manual, in this example here, this is a screenshot of a campaign that I did a while back for an event. And this is one that I wanted to send a day of reminder. And I could have prepped it up ahead of time, but I wasn't even sure if there was going to be room left. So this is a case where a manual follow-up was actually necessary. So if you go into the actual campaign in Mailshake, you could edit messages and you could actually add another email in there. And secondly, so you could do all sorts of cool stuff with it. So you don't have to automate the whole thing. That's something that when I first started using Mailshake, I didn't know either. It was my business partner. I was like, you realize you don't have to do it that way, Nate, right? And I'm like, what, really? So in the beginning, I would recommend pushing out one message and then going back into the campaign and see what the results are, see what the response is. And if it's awesome, adjust accordingly. If it's not awesome, adjust it accordingly. With automations, when you're automating your follow-ups, in this particular case here, this particular client, we ran through a bunch of tests. And in this case, instead of doing a company name, it was a school name. And this client, it worked really, really well. But we found out that 4 days, but because we did it manually first, that 4 days was a good amount of time to wait. And that the primary call to action we were going for was a reply, not a click. So once we learned that, then we put in email too, to have a 4-day delay. And then the actual condition was the reply. So that's something that I strongly, strongly recommend you do. Now, it's sometimes difficult to test if you don't have a huge volume of emails to work with, but we'll get into that in a future video. We talked in the previous slide about time-based follow-ups. I see this a lot. Hey, I noticed you haven't opened my email from earlier today. I have actually received this exact message worded 10 different ways, and they're all wrong. All of them are wrong. That is, it's badgering, it's pestering. You wouldn't do it to a stranger on the street. This is email here. It's just a digital version of snail mail, ultimately. So you need to give people a little bit of time to open up the email. I've seen some studies saying otherwise, and 5 years ago, it may have worked kind of because it was new. One of the things that if you are going to do a quicker follow-up is I forgot to mention in my last email angle. I would not overuse this, but hey, real quick, one more thing. That is something that you would say in conversation. So if you think about when you're timing out your follow-up, think about your prospect. Think about what the regular day looks like and what would it be like naturally. In a natural occurring setting, how long would you wait? If anyone's seen the movie Swingers, how long do you wait to call the gal after you get her number? Like it varies from person to person, and it varies from culture to culture and industry to industry. And sometimes you could just ask somebody, like, how often do you actually check your email? Like, I would actually ask them. All right. This is one that I've been getting into a lot recently, is follow-ups that are based off of clicks. So if somebody gets a campaign, they open the campaign, they actually click on something, or they don't click on something. And this is in this particular scenario, hey, thanks for scheduling a time. Yeah, here's a case study you needed to read before we talk. And I got the same message. I sanitized it just to protect the people that sent it to me. When I clicked on a scheduling link, but I didn't actually schedule anything. I just clicked. What I would use when you're following up based on a click is I wouldn't send them anything based off a click. I would send them something based on if they did not click. So if you sent someone 3 messages and your primary call to action is click here to schedule a call, then you need to send them a different kind of message to encourage the click. So you change your wording, you up the stakes, or you do a favor for them. So speaking of favors, the list here on the left is a very typical sequence that you see when people are especially in B2B sales, is hey, let's ask for a meeting. Hey, schedule a demo here. Our stuff's amazing. Then, hey, did you get that email? Hey, did you get that email? You really, really need to click on this link. And oh man, you're ignoring me. Oh, please, 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 please. That is just, it's annoying. It's not effective. And you may get somebody to fall for that. Chances are they probably aren't going to be a good client. All right. I'm not meaning to be crude, but that is just the case. A better way to do this is you simplify the ask. Asking for a reply is like, hey, just hit reply and yes or no. Just go for the quick yes or no, just to see whether or not they even want to continue having a conversation with you. Then give them something. Give them something. The phrase one of my sales coaches told me is rare insights. Give them something they can't get anywhere else. So you may need to dig a bit. And that's where personalization comes in and a few other things. Then after that, then ask them again, like go straight for the meeting. So if they don't like clicking and reply, maybe they like clicking on things. After that, give them something else. In some cases, if it's a industry I have a lot of contacts in, I'll offer up a warm intro. I was like, hey, I've tried reaching out a few times. On a total side note, I went to this industry meeting and met some really cool people. I would be happy to make a warm intro. They're all CFOs. You interested? Question mark. And then wrapping up, and then I would ask them for a warm intro. Maybe they don't want to do business with you, but maybe they'd crack open their black book. So notice the give and the take, and it's scratching their back a bit. It's really, really important not to fall into that nudge, beg. Oh, I'm just going to take you off my list. This is your last chance. Or worse than the beg is the threatening people. It's awful. Now, Stujan, in your experience, what have you been seeing?
Yeah, I mean, I think sharing industry insights, I think the sharing content, and case studies, information, ebooks, all that stuff, videos, can be great.
Yeah, videos is a good one too. I'm starting to test video prospecting and like creating videos for specific clients, and it's working pretty well. So
yeah, I mean, one thing that we do at our agency that works really well for us is, and this is not necessarily for cold emails, this is for people who that reach out when the proposal stage is, our team has already created videos that address most common issues. We just send them to them at a certain time in our conversation, and it works very, 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 very well because, frankly, we know the hurdles, we know the issues. And so by doing this, we ultimately solve the issues at a kind of preemptively solve the issue, but at the right time the issue comes up.
Yeah, absolutely. More organic, I guess. 100% organic emails. Okay. Well, that's it for this video.
All right, guys. If you have any comments or questions, leave them below, and so don't forget to subscribe, because we've got a lot more videos in this series that I think can help you guys and girls get a lot more value out of just sending emails. Until next time, take care.